course, today was the full Barnett racing clutch, Barnett springs, and what a difference. I mean, just, I can tell that clutch must have been slipping a little, because the power's there instantly now. The bike even sounds better. It's not struggling to move. And that's the thing with bikes with a lot of torque. You need those clutches engaging. And that's what we're doing now. And we're definitely engaging.
Hey guys, welcome to Revved Up with Mike. Today we're going to be working on a clutch on a 2008 Ducati 848, and I'm going to show you guys how to quickly install a Barnett clutch quickly, easily. Not as hard as you think, but there's some things that you need to pay attention to. And you want to check for your specific application too. Make sure you do the research, but we're going to guide you through how pretty easy this is as long as you, well, follow certain procedures. Let's get to it. We have a 2008 Ducati done up in the Nicky Hayden style theme, and we're going to put a new clutch in it today. The clutches that are in it, I've been in there already, and I found that their clutches they're fine. They look like fast factory discs. However, somebody has put them in the wrong order, and that can create quite a bit of clutch chatter. So what we did is we ordered a new Barnett clutch for it, new old stock. And I'm going to give you a part number for the 848 in case you're wondering, because, well, that's half the battle. The part number is going to be a 306-25-10003. And this is a Kevlar friction and steel plate kit. Really easy to do on these bikes. You don't need to drain your oil, nothing like that. So if you have fresh oil, roll with it. We will do an oil change on this later on, but we'll do that after the break-in period for this clutch, because you're going to get some clutch particles in there anyhow. So we'll do that later on. However, very straightforward, very simple, as long as you follow certain rules and a few tips. Now, contrary to popular belief, you don't have to soak your clutch plates overnight with a Barnett kit. As a matter of fact, it's like 3 minutes. It's not long at all. And something that you never hear is you wipe your discs off. You don't simply assemble them. And that's because of the stack height, the initial stack height when you first start up the bike. That oil in between can create a bit of a barrier. So that's why you're wiping your discs off. And if you don't believe me, it's out of Barnett Performance own mouth, and I read. Wet clutch tips: soak your friction plates for 1 to 3 minutes, wipe dry with a lint-free cloth, and install per service manual to ensure best clutch life. Yes, not overnight. It's overkill. All they need to do is get some oil on them so they don't heat seize, and get hot spots. That is the only thing to that. All right, big wives' tale that they tell you. So here's our kit. I already have these stacked in order, and you're going to want to look up your own particular stack sequence for your bike. Your thicker plates go in the middle. That's where all the pressure and tension is. And all your fiber discs here are pretty much going to be all the same, but your first initial one is going to be a little thinner, because that goes over a ring that's on the inside. So they're pretty much all the same. However, your plates themselves, you have a few, 3 or 4, depending on your model, that are going to be in the center, that are going to be like 2 millimeters, where the rest are at 1.6. So keep that in mind. You're going to want to pre-stack these, have them ready to go. What I like to do is actually take a magic marker in case somehow I miss one, and actually mark them. Boom. So I know I put 0.6, it's actually 1.6, and I know in case they come out of order, I can give them a quick glance and go, that's right. So this is pre-stacking, and yes, you can soak these just like this, pre-stacked with everything together, and we'll pull them apart, lay them down, wipe them off, and start installing. So what I'm going to do is place these in a Ziploc bag. like so. And we're going to put a little oil in here. Do not use car oil, contrary to popular belief. I've seen this so many times, and there's even some videos out there of people running like a Mobil 1 10W40 in these bikes and saying, well, my engine is lasting forever. You don't understand it. You're going to slip your clutches eventually. Way prematurely, you're going to slip your clutches. Listen, if you got a new clutch pack, it might work fantastic. It might be great for your engine, but you're going to slip clutches if you're riding your bike hard. Plain and simple. I've seen it a million times. It's going to happen. Use the correct oil. Can't stress that enough. So let's put some oil in here. What I like to use is a 15W50 liquid moly. Great oil. Your preference is your preference. I'm not going to lecture you on what oils to use as far as your favorite brands. They all meet good certification specs, so you're good to go there. And we're going to take a little bit of oil, just like this. And I'm going to put a little, not a lot, guys. You don't need a lot. Remember, we're just coating the plates. We're not trying to drown them. So what I like to do is just get in here on your surface. This is it. This is it. Separate everything. Make sure oil's on everything. See how easy this is? This is like so this oil will find its way. See, it's already covering it. And I just flip it over. Let the oil do its job because it's going to go everywhere. I mean, it's this simple. You don't have to really just separate them really quick. I do this so I don't get them out of order. But this oil is going pretty much everywhere. Now what I'm going to do is just give them all a spin. Flip it over one more time. Give this all a spin, just like that. I'm just going to Ziploc this up so it doesn't go anywhere. And let that, and if you want to give it a toss around whenever you want to a couple times, whatever. That's it. That's all you got to do. So they're just going to soak in there. Listen, you can do it for your work time. It really just doesn't make a difference. 1 to 3 minutes is really all it needs, but you can let it sit longer if you like. It's just a wives' tale that you have to let them sit overnight or what have you. It serves no purpose. Your oil seeps in to these friction plates really quickly. We're going to clean off a surface here. Put your paper towel down. And what I'm going to do is take them out one at a time. And you see how they're covered? We're just going to wipe them off, guys. See that? There's one. And what I mark these with, you see it's staying on there, right? I'm not wiping off very heavily, but I just used a standard Sharpie, a black Sharpie, which won't impede any of the friction, so don't worry. The first initial startup will take care of that. Okay, so now we're pre-stacked. Boom, boom, boom. And it's going to be going on just like this. So I'm just going to cover this plate so nothing gets on. There's our motor oil. And as you can see, if you look at the bottom of this, I don't know if you can see or not, there's actually clutch particles in there already. So this is what I'm talking about. Initial startup with a clutch, you're going to get a lot of particles. That's why we're not changing the oil right off the bat. We're going to change the oil after it has ran for a little bit. Okay, let's get to the bike. Okay, first things first, I need to apologize for the background noise. We have people putting in a driveway next door, but we're going to do the best we can, work with what we got to work with. First thing we do is remove our fairings. And if you don't know how to do this, don't put a clutch in your motorcycle. So usually there's no need to remove the whole bottom belly. If you're doing something simple like this, you can simply move this down out of the way. I'm going to take something to support this a little bit so it's a little flexible. Right there, like so. Just to put underneath, but we can bend this down. If you got good quality plastics, you just bend it down. We can access everything right here pretty easily, and we'll start breaking these bolts free. Now, hopefully we can save this gasket. The gasket on this is new. I'm going to get this cover off here first. There we go. Under our cover. Nice and clean. Factory. Now we'll get in here and start breaking our others free. We're going to have to remove our sensor plug here. Kind of get that out of the way. Okay, cover's off. You're going to have a little bit of oil dripping out, not too much, because the bike's over to the side. That's one thing I need to tell you is make sure your bike's over to the side. Our gasket's still good. We can see in here everything's clean, super nice. And there is our clutch basket. Everything appears to be good in there for sure. Don't see any metal particles, nothing going wrong in there. Let's set this to the side. Again, I apologize for the noise. So what I've done is I got a little bowl under here, just catching the residual oil that's going to run out for the angle of the bike. You're not going to lose a lot of oil, but make sure just keep your workspace nice and clean. We're going to break these free, but we're going to back them out very methodically. Now these clutch springs that are in here are actually Barnett springs that I've already installed, and that's when I noticed that the clutch discs weren't correct, and they appear to be factory discs. So okay, so the springs and bolts are tucked away safely. Now we're going to pull the clutch out itself. And what I like to do doing this when I'm pulling this out is have various tools on hand. I can't find my pick, but we got some needle nose, we got various screwdrivers, and some Allen keys come in really handy. But the most important is a magnet. Sometimes those magnets can be worth their weight in gold. So I'm actually going to cop a sit down here, and we're going to pull off the pressure plate. And first thing we do when we pull this plate off is we're going to have some clutches come with it. is we're going to inspect those bearings, because we definitely want to inspect those. So I'm going to pull these off in this direction. Like, inspect our surface, make sure there's nothing going on there. Inspect the bearings, make sure everything's good there, which it is. Okay, so I'm going to sit this, and there's the bearing, comes right out, by the way, guys. So we're going to sit that back in there, though. We don't want that out at the moment. So that's going to go back in and kind of balance everything up when we're done here. But we're going to pull these out, and I'm going to take a gander at these, because I don't believe these are actually correct. Sometimes you can use the magnet to pull out the plate behind it. But there's our clutch discs here, and I'm gonna put these in the same order that they're coming out, just in case something's not quite right with the Barnett stack. And a Barnett stack should be at 50 millimeters in total height when you're done. And you can see we got some few hot spots on this one, and this is a thick one. I think that's thick too quick. So pull these off. Grabbed a few of them that time here. There we go. There we go. Okay, so what we have here, if you want to notice, we have a beveled washer, a big beveled washer here, and I want to make sure we don't lose that, because that's very crucial right here. You see this, right? And I believe we have another one inside also. So let's make sure. Yes, we do. Yes, we do, right there. So we want to make sure that these are installed properly. So this is the flat one, okay? And this is going to go back in just like it is. There's no problems there. So let's put that. Everything looks good. The mating surface, everything is very nice in there. So we're going to do that. Okay, so this part, you see how it's kind of beveled a certain direction. We want it so the upper side's beveling in towards the outside of the basket. So that's going to go right in here, just like so, and it rides on top of that one, okay? We want to make sure that all stays correct. That's basically a centering ring for our smallest friction disc. But let's go grab the discs and start installing this clutch. Okay. So providing that they've set the right clutches, you're going to see a big difference in these discs. Barnett, factory, and you can see much more greater surface, okay? So we never want a metal plate in first. We always want a friction disc in first, like so, okay? That's the first rule. Now remember, these have already been, you want to look at your manual and make sure your order for your specific application of where your thick ones go. These have already been pretty much laid out for me, or I laid them out, I should say. And we want to make sure everything's going to be fresh and new. And you can see the tolerances are going to be much tighter, so they may be loose taking them off, but when you're putting this back together, you're going to notice that your tolerances are totally different, especially with your metal plates. As you can see that you have to have it perfect to even slide this on. which is exactly what we want here. See that? So this is going to get rid of any clutch rattle that you may have. It's going to save your basket, because the looser your clutch discs get, the more they rattle on that basket, and they'll actually groove them. And if you like that dry clutch sound on a wet clutch, go for it, but it's not recommended. See that tightness? Boom. And once again, this is coated, just coated in oil, didn't have to sit overnight. Just give it a little wiggle, you could be like, oh, that's a little tight. Yep, tolerances are tighter. And as you can see, I put these at 1.9. That's actually what they measure out at. They're actually at 2 millimeters, but on my mic might have been a little off. And I'll show you guys something else here when you're done too that people don't understand when you get to the end of your clutch pack. A lot of clutches. That is a lot of clamping force for torque right there. Something is amiss. Something is amiss. Nope, something's right. There we go. And when you get done, you should not have a metal plate up against your pressure plate. You just should not. Now, do you see this? Your last disc does not go in like this. Your last disc turns, okay? That's why these notches are here. Your last disc. So, your last disc, see how these are all on the same ones? And this is notched out here. You turn it on your last one. So, it's like that. This is, well, textbook perfect, right? So we're going to take our bearing and we're going to put that pilot bearing in there first, just like that, because we know that that's going to sit right when we put on our pressure plate. Inspect your pressure plate really well to make sure that it's not bad, and this one is not, thank goodness. So we're going to put our pressure, you see that's going to always, I always put this on after because it forces that to line up right there. Now we're going to take our springs. Remember I said it doesn't make a difference, and we have enough bite now still just to start them, okay? One, shouldn't go hard. Make sure you got it, boom. And we're just going to do this, and we're going to continue in that star pattern like we did before. So once again, guys, these springs are the Barnett racing springs. And the reason I installed these not previously is because I ordered the clutch for this and I got the wrong clutch. So I've been waiting to get the right clutch. But in the meantime, I wanted to quiet down some of that chatter, so I installed the springs while I was in there. And took the original clutches and just used them. And I'll tell you what a difference in feel on the lever itself. Okay, you never want to use impact wrenches or anything like that. So now we're going to start over to number 1. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the 10 turns in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? Across up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we'll go here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure nothing binds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so 10 for everything, and we're going to check our springs, make sure nothing's binding, and then we'll see that we got rid of that noise already. There's no clunkiness right there. So now we're going to do the 8 rule. We're going to start and we're going to do it in 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you're going to notice that tension's drawing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they're all equal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, and if you look, they're all going to be equal heights. Now we go to the 6 rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we'll do the 4 rule. 1, and we're already there. 1, we're there. 1, ooh, it was a little off. Should be pretty close. 1, we're there. 1, we're there. Now I snug, just keep them in place. Then we'll grab our torque wrench, which isn't going to take much, and we'll torque them down very gently. And now we torque these to 96 inch-pounds. And I like to work up to it a little bit, and I've already done that, but 96. 96. There we go. That is it. Clutch is installed. Now we put our cover back on, clean up our little mess of oil down here, and see what we got. And I'm going to double check everything in here and make sure everything's good. All the gears, nothing's loose. And she's looking clean in there. I think we're going to be good to go. Alright, now we just check clutch feel. Everything feels like it should. Now it's just a matter of buttoning everything up and seeing if we have that horrible rattle still. Now we're just going to top off what we lost, the initial cover, which isn't too much. And we're good to rock and roll. Much better. Just put it in gear, moved it into the driveway. Much better. Sounds good. Very nice. And that is how you quickly install a Ducati 848 clutch. All right, guys. Look forward to seeing you in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe. Peace out. Bye.